Now, Nigeria's central bank governor, Godwin Emefiele, says the bank is ready to support businesses that will like to work with the CBN towards import substitution, adding that the move was aimed at increasing Nigeria's self-sufficiency. He discussed this and more with CNBC Africa's Christycole Popoola. Take a look.
Yeah, I must say that it's a great day for not just flour mills, but also for Nigeria, given the fact that sugar is an item that is being imported into Nigeria today and heavily, and to find a company like Flour Mills, who is also one of those importers, setting up a big plant like this right at the center of Sunti is something that is gratifying to all of us.
What are your expectations from the projects going forward?
Well, I'm told from reports that I have read, this plant should be producing close to about 10,000 metric tons of sugar annually, even though it has capacity to produce close to about 50,000 metric tons. So we would like to see that the company is able to ramp up its production of sugar from 10,000 to 20 to 40 and eventually hit the 50. But we know that a lot is required, and the central bank stands ready to give all the support that is needed to achieve those objectives.
So in the past couple of decades now, the production of sugar in Nigeria was a dream until the commissioning that we are seeing today, say activities leading up to the commissioning that we are seeing today. I'd like you to talk us through the activities of the CBN in ensuring that sugar self-sustenance in Nigeria becomes a reality, especially with regards to the funding provided for a project of this nature.
Yeah, the point is that, like you already know, central bank is currently focused not just on its primary mandate of price and monetary stability, exchange rate stability, but we're also looking aggressively into development finance. And our own primary interest is supporting enterprises and businesses that would like to work with us towards achieving import substitution. That is, goods or products that we can produce in the country and that are currently being imported into the country. What do we do to support some of those companies to ensure that rather than import those items into the country, that they can produce them locally? So our interest is in that, yes, we would like to support them, and we're happy that Central Bank has played an active role in supporting the establishment of this project. You may be interested to know that so far, the Central Bank of Nigeria has invested over 27 billion naira in this plant, and we are willing to do more. I know that in plants of this nature, the standard practice is for the factory to produce crude raw sugar for 6 months in a year. This plant currently produces its raw sugar 1 month instead of up to 6 months, which is the standard practice. And I know a lot of investment is still needed, but the basic issue, the basic problem that we see here, having set up this plant, like I told you earlier, it's a 50,000 metric tons capacity, producing now 10,000 metric tons. The reason why it's only producing 10,000 is because of non-availability or inadequate supply of the sugar cane itself. The company this year will be producing about 3,000 hectares. We'll be cultivating 3,000 hectares of sugar cane. But we're saying to be able to get to the kind of level, you should be producing close to about 10,000 hectares. But we're also saying that we'll be supporting the company to work with the local community, support the local community through our Anchor Borough program, so that when we fund these local communities in the production of sugar cane, this company will be able to offtake it from them, and through that medium, you find that we are creating jobs for the rural community, we are creating wealth in the rural community for them to produce sugar cane, which will be offtaken by this Sunti sugar, and with that, we're able to see that we're improving economic activity, improving wealth of our people, creating jobs for our people, and at the same time, working towards achieving economic growth in Nigeria.
And all of these are, of course, tied to the diversification drive and the ease of doing business. Mr. Governor, would you say that diversification is working?
Diversification is working and working and working. It is working, and I think I must commend the federal government for its tenacity. When the president came on board, he came at a time when the global crisis was setting in, And I had discussions with him where he said, and I was very clear and said, look, our results are going to plummet. And we came up with an idea that what are those items that were important that we can produce in Nigeria? And sugar and a few other products came into mind. And that's why the president insisted, and we are working with him to ensure that we diversify our economy from being a predominantly import-dependent economy to an economy that produces what it feeds, or fits on what it produces. So that's what we are doing, and I'm so sure we're on that track. And I'm sure very soon you're going to be hearing the president. He said so the day before yesterday at the villa where we met with rice producers and millers. What he said is that a presidential council on food security will be set up to be chaired by him. All these are efforts towards making sure that we achieve food security and diversify the economy away from being import dependent, but being an economy that produces what it eats, it feeds on.
So it's been almost a quarter of the year now, and we haven't had an
There will be MPC this time. Yeah, the MPC is supposed to be holding on the 19th and 20th. The Senate is in the process of screening those nominees. We're going to have just about a week to 10 days extension of the date of MPC. The MPC will certainly hold by latest the first week in April.
There have been doubts about not having an MPC having impact on policy direction of the economy.
No, it does. It's not to say that the MPC is not important, but the good thing is that the main decision that the MPC would have taken, which is bordering on price stability, or altering the pricing dynamic today, we have not seen any serious need, or we are not seeing the need right now to alter the price mechanisms. You understand? So for that reason, results building up, exchange rate is stable, growth is coming, inflation is trending downwards. So these are all macroeconomic indicators are pointing in a positive direction. So there's nothing for anybody to worry.